Kurt Lewin had a profound impact on what we know about human behavior and therefore change. From force field to topological psychology, he invented new ways of thinking about how people respond, and importantly, he defined his model of change as an awareness of the need for people to both prepare and reinforce. Long before Nike started "Just Do It" as their tagline, organizations everywhere tried ordering people to do things with varying degrees of success, without context, desire, or understanding. People were just expected to change how they worked. While this was sometimes effective, it often had negative side effects that the organization didn't like. In smaller towns, the reputation of firms made it harder to find talent that was necessary to continue operations. A different way of thinking about how to get people to do what you wanted them to do had to be done. This is where Lewin found the world as he formulated a new, more effective approach to change. The model is simple: unfreezing, changing, refreezing. The unfreezing step is the focus on making people ready to change. It includes making them aware of their current behaviors and the risks that are inherent in these behaviors, or the opportunities that might exist if they changed. Then there's change and transition. This is where the actual change is made. That means educating people on the behaviors that are desired and helping them to change those behaviors until they match the desired outcome. Finally, freezing. The behaviors are anchored. This phase is reinforcement and vigilance towards regression to previous behaviors. It's about making sure that we don't slide backwards. While the model is simplistic, it's a great structure to focus on the key milestones that you need to accomplish in your change effort. In addition to introducing the need to unfreeze existing behaviors, he introduced the idea of committing those changes throughout the organization. What about subversion? See, Lewin knew that people would intentionally and unintentionally subvert the change process by going back to the old behaviors if there weren't forces applied to retain those new behaviors until they became automatic. He researched the return of behaviors to their prior states. The use of the word subversion isn't to imply any sinister motive, but it's simply what happens when change isn't reinforced. When we think of the broader context, Lewin's change model wasn't ever an intentional area of study and work for him. It was an outcome of his work on explaining human behavior as a function of both person and environment, and his research into theories of force fields and topological psychology. The observation on change and what it did or did not do was a side effect of him trying to study human behavior. Shortly after he published his first work, which included the reference to the change model, he died of a heart attack. So he never had a chance to fully expand upon his work or change or refine any area of his other work. So what are the criticisms of this model? The primary criticism leveled against Lewin's model is that it's too simplistic. Others believe that the model doesn't express the richness and challenge of change. Those criticisms are reasonable, and it's why Lewin's model is best used as a teaching tool that allows students to conceptualize broad categories of the change process before discovering more detailed models.